What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Diecast review here on the channel today. And today I have one of the first sets that I've gotten in quite a bit of time. Honestly, thinking about it, one of the few sets that I've gotten in general, purchased as a whole. Here and there, I've kind of created and got my own sets for my own collection and stuff. But as far as like buying an actual produced set, I don't have very many of these. So actually got two in the mail the other day, and the first one we're going to look at today is this Hendrick Motorsports 4-car throwback set. And I'm a big fan of sets. I know Jimmy Johnson had a 7-time, or I think it was a 5 in a row, a 5-peat set or something way back in the day. They had those Daytona 500 50th anniversary sets or 10s or whatever back in the day. So anytime I can get a set like this, I try to. There's a few that I'm missing that I need to get my hands on, but anytime now that I see one, I want to pick it up. So, but we have 4 diecast here. I'm going to go ahead and pretty much just review all of them in one video. While it would be nice to make it 4 separate videos, I think that I'll just do one video at a time, or do one big video breaking them down. And I might release like chunks of the video, like I might have a separate video of the Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott and so on, but still have this full big video breaking down each car and reviewing it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at this box. And we do have some different box art for the 164s. Obviously, it's a different case. It is a like a set. It's not tin or anything. It's just plastic or whatever they're made out of. But we got all 4 cars right here. We have Kyle Larson's, Chase Elliott's, William Byron, and Alex Bowman. And then up here in the top left, we have NASCAR, Hendrick Motorsports. We have the official product thing up there. And then we have a classic Darlington Raceway official throwback weekend of NASCAR right there. Action Racing Collectibles 1/64 scale. And then we have these red and blue and black lines going on the front right here. And we take it around the side. I can show you all. 5, 9, 24, 48. Got the Hendrick Motorsports logo there as well. Same thing on the back. NASCAR, Hendrick Motorsports, 5, 9, 24, 48. We have the Action logo there as well. On this side, same old stuff. On the bottom, if I flip it over, we have some, it's not plain. It's not just licensing or anything. We have up in the top left, HMS, Hendrick Motorsports, a Darlington 4-car set, 2022 Camaro ZL1, limited edition, and then we have whatever those letters are right there, product number, SKU. So all of the information here on the back, we got the car numbers there as well. Really cool, nice, decent box design. The only complaint I have is I think that the box design is pretty much the same. I believe it might be the same as the Salutes box, but I'm not for sure on that. So we're going to go ahead and take these cars out of the packaging really quick and get this thing out. Let's go. So like I said, I'm going to review each car here in this video one at a time, and I'll probably release them separately. Like if you want to watch one at a time, I will do that. So but they have this plastic covering on top. Take that off, and then here's the diecast right here. We have the 5. We have the 9. Unfortunately, not blue. It's white, the way that it finished. Got the 24 and then the 48 as well. So you could buy all these cars separately, I do believe. They were sold separately, but I think it was a little bit cheaper to get them in a set after tax and stuff, so I figured I'd get the set. So first impressions, these are really nice throwbacks, all 4 of them in their own way. Chase Elliott's has an unfortunate story to it. The only way to get the blue diecast, that was the way that it was originally intended to run, is to purchase the Elite 124, I believe, and that was it. So I honestly do not plan on doing that. It's just, not really worth it in my opinion. I feel like getting the white one, it has a cool story behind it. Whereas the blue one actually never really touched the in-race track. It touched practice because it wrecked, but the white one is the way that it finished, and it has a story behind it. So while it is unfortunate, All 4 of these are really cool in and of their own way. So we will go ahead and look at Kyle Larson's number 5 first. I'm going to move these other 3 out of the way and talk about each of them individually. So first off, we'll look at Kyle Larson's number 5, Hendrick Chevrolet. Literally just says Hendrick. Hendrick Cars, I guess, is the main sponsor, but it's just the Hendrick Chevrolet. And if you're not familiar with this, this was a throwback to 1984 with Tim Richmond in the Busch Series, where I think I found images. They drove the 0, and it was like, it said on the side, Hendrick Honda, I think, and it was like pretty much just Hendrick Chevrolet or Hendrick Honda, whatever it was at the time. So really cool that they have, they're paying homage to one of the first years that Hendrick was a team. The only complaint is there's a big white piece of paint on the inside of the windshield, so that's unfortunate. But let's go ahead and look at the diecast. Starting off with the nose, everything looks pretty good. Nose is really lined up pretty good. No complaints here. Got the crooked Hendrick Chevrolet logo. Looks cool. Looks really vintage, like it was just thrown on there last minute, like a up-and-coming race team would do or something back in the day. We got Kyle Larson right there on the front windshield, as well as that white paint underneath the windshield. That's unfortunate. We have a red number 5 up here on the roof, and I really love when teams change the number font to match a classic paint scheme. I think that it's a little bit of an addition that just makes it look a whole lot better. Because if this was just the regular 5, I really don't think it would look as good, but it looks a lot better with the 5 here. So right here we have the white tire lettering for Goodyear. We have the classic NASCAR International logo right there, and NASCAR salutes. We have the red 5 as well as the red star right there with Hendrick Chevrolet, and the racing stripes and lines that go down the side of the car. Awesome, simple, basic paint scheme, but again, some of these basic paint schemes like this get the point across. And this one kind of benefited from having the number pushed forward as well, I will admit. HendrickCars.com there on the back, Valvoline, and then the 5 on the right there. Got the Camaro logo in the middle. We got 16 Chevrolet locations nationwide for Hendrick Chevrolet. HendrickCars.com there on the roof, and then Kyle Larson on the back windshield. So this is just promoting Hendrick, pretty much like Hendrick Cars, just promoting Hendrick Chevrolet worldwide and telling how many locations that they have across the United States. So I've said this in the past, Lionel with these white paint schemes, sometimes they just bubble up and you can really tell because they're white. So there's an example of that on the quarter panel. Other than that, though, pretty clean. Nothing really to complain about with this diecast. Like I said, 1984 Tim Richmond Busch Series paint scheme. Look it up if you haven't seen it. And I think they did a really good job with this throwback. So, Beaten and Bruised, number 9, throwback to Jimmy Means was actually who this was thrown back to. For some reason, I wanted to say Rick Mast, but it was Jimmy Means. I think it was like number 52 or number 54 Napa car. Really old back in the day. You barely can even tell it has Napa on it. That's how old it is. But this car has a funny story to it. I mentioned earlier in the full video that this was originally supposed to be all blue, as you all might know, and wrecked in practice, so they ended up just painting it white and putting the bare minimum they could on the car. So while it looks not the best, it does have a cool story behind it, and I do wish that they would have made the blue one as well, because I do believe it would have sold. So Lionel, you should have made the blue one instead of just making it an Elite. You should have made it for all scales, because it would have sold as well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and look at this diecast. We have the Napa logo right there. The nose is a little off from center. It's kind of crooked in general for the most part. The logos are kind of shifted to the left a little bit. The front headlights are kind of winking at me. The left one's a little bit higher than the right. It's not all the way. See how there's some space left right there. That, I guess, driver's side headlight should be moved over a little bit, and the passenger is a little too far out of the groove. There's a little indentation right there, if you can see, where the headlight should be moved over, but nothing too major. That's kind of bugs me when you look at it. You can definitely tell, and it's a little offline with the Napa logo on the hood. So that's unfortunate. You're going to get that with Lionel these days. There's no sense in really beating yourself up and complaining about it all the time, but that is unfortunate. Moving on to the hood, we have a Napa logo right there. Got Chase Elliott on the front windshield, and then the Throwback 9 font that they tend to go with every single time. I think leaving the regular 9 would have been cool, but they go with this Throwback looking 9 almost every year now. And not complaining about it. I think it's cool. I think it's a different change of pace. And I just wish he'd do a Bill Elliott Throwback at some point. Evernham, Bill Elliott. So enough of that. On the left side, I know the 9 kind of looks blurry. It's supposed to be chrome, and they did a decent job with the chrome. I appreciate them putting forth some effort and trying. You can definitely tell it is chrome, like right there. So kudos to Lionel for doing that. Looks good. We have the Napa logo there in the middle, as well as A-Shock, Hooters, Lumar, and the white Goodyear tire lettering on each of these tires for Throwback Weekend. We got some sponsors here on the B post. Chase Elliott there on the name rail, Kelly Blue Book, and Valvoline there right, on the C post. Got Auto Parts and then Universe there on the quarter panel. Now, again, all of this was supposed to be blue. The blue car looks 10 times better than this, but this one has, unfortunately, a sad story behind it. We have Auto Care right there on the back, as well as the Camaro logo with the ZL1 Valvoline and the Camaro taillights. On the deck lid, we have Napa Auto Parts, as you can see right there. Elliott there on the back windshield. Onto the right side of the car. Hopefully nothing major's going on here. We got Auto Parts right there. Unifirst, Lumar, A-Shock, Hooters. Pretty much the same thing as the other side. Nothing really major over here. The 9 looks a little bit blurry. And again, another thing I've noticed too is that one looks more skewed than this one. This one looks straight up almost. Maybe I'm just nitpicking here, but that one looks straight up and this one looks kind of more tilted. So you really can't tell. If you sit there with the camera and you deep dive into all of these, you can tell little differences and stuff. But at first glance, this is a nice diecast and one that I definitely think you all should pick up. I'm not going to be getting the Elite, the blue one, so this will probably be the only one that I have. I do plan on getting a 124, so again, I don't know. I might talk myself into getting the Elite, but I'm not sure yet. Next up on the Throwback Hendrick Motorsports set, we have William Byron's Jeff Gordon Throwback to 2007, and boy, I already see an issue here. Let's skip everything and go straight to this Exalta. That stinks, man. Looks like it got chipped and the white is now coming off. So I think it'd honestly look better if I got it off. All right, you can't tell as much there. You can tell a little bit. The A is a little messed up though, so that's unfortunate. But really cool car. I wanted to get this one so bad. I wanted it to win. And I'm still debating on getting the 124. And the reason being, and why this paint scheme, so to speak, is so close to my heart, is because in 2007, the car that this is throwing back to, Jeff Gordon won at Darlington. He won, and I think it was May. And that was the first race that I'd ever attended. I've gotten the Jeff Gordon 2007 Darlington raced version diecast and posted on my Instagram and stuff. Had to track that one down over time. Finally got it. And when I saw that they were throwing back to this, or throwing back to that with this car, I got super excited. And then he almost won, if not for Joey Logano. Almost won, and it would have been awesome to have had a raced version William Byron Throwback to the car that means so much to me. So, unfortunately, that did not happen, but we still got the diecast anyway. I'm probably eventually going to get the 124 to put on the shelf beside the 2007 version. But this car is beautiful, and this paint scheme with the flames, I wish it was still the primary today. I really don't think they should have ever changed from this or the rainbow. So, it stinks, but times change, and they change over time. So, or paint schemes change over time. So, we will go ahead and look at this car. It looks like they got the headlights right on this one because they didn't on the Chase Elliott one. We got Exalta there on the hood as well as the flames. And, man, this thing is beautiful. Got Byron there on the front windshield as well as the Chevrolet logo. Got the 24 there on the roof and Exalta.com. On the left side, we have the number pushed forward. It doesn't even really bother me that it's pushed forward. It kind of just doesn't fit. It would look so much better if it was in the middle, and I hate that they didn't do it. They did not do a Flames car with the number in the middle of the door. They only did the rainbow like 37 times, so we finally get a Flames one, but the number's pushed forward. Anyway, it doesn't look terrible. It actually looks pretty good, in my opinion. Got the white Goodyear tire lettering. That Axalta logo, unfortunately, is chipped, but you can't really tell at first glance. It was more noticeable because the white paint was just hanging there, so it looks better now, in my opinion. Got William Byron up there on the name rail. Got 2 race winner stickers. HendrickCars.com, Valvoline, Axalta, and then Liberty University there on the quarter panel. And I love how the Flames have those yellow tips on them all the way to the end, and it just looks nice. On the back of the car, we have Axalta.com, Camaro, Valvoline 24, and the Camaro taillights. On the deck lid, we have Axalta. A little bit crooked, but not really noticeable. Got Byron there on the back windshield. Onto the right side of the car, not seeing any issues with it so far. Got Liberty University down there, Axalta, and the Flames look awesome on this side as well. Number looks good. Everything checks out. The only issue was that paint chip on the Axalta logo, and everything else looks fantastic to me. And I would honestly say that for me personally, this is my favorite throwback to this year. Honestly, other than the 1 and the 99, it's a tough race. This one's definitely top 5, and probably for me personally, number 1. But I know for a lot of people, it's probably in the top 5. Definitely probably not a lot of people's favorite, but you know, for me, it really gets the job done. So next up in the Hendrick Motorsports 4-car throwback set, and last but not least, this is Alex Bowman's number 48 throwback to Mark Martin in the 6-car. And a couple things I want to point out, not about the diecast, but just about the paint scheme in general. Yes, it is throwing back. It's a Chevrolet throwing back to a Ford, but I don't understand why Valvoline didn't sponsor it themselves, because Valvoline sponsors Kyle Larson, and I feel like they could have just, went over to the 48 for a race, but it's just kind of weird that Ally is the main sponsor here, and they're throwing back a Valvoline car to a Ford. So this car honestly looks like it shouldn't have been made. It looks like it should have been somebody. It looks like somebody custom made it. And, as far as throwbacks go, Dale Jr. had a Valvoline throwback a few years ago that was 10 times better than this one, in my opinion. But this one's just kind of weird, in my opinion. So you might like it if you're a Bowman fan. Let me know how you feel about it. It's definitely a cool paint scheme, but it just doesn't go together at all. The sponsor, the manufacturer, the number, anything. And it's definitely odd, in my opinion. So let's go ahead. Enough rambling. I like the diecast. It's not that. It's just that it looks kind of weird. I keep seeing this all over the car, on the roof and on the hood. This nastiness. I don't know what that's from. I don't know if it'll come off or not. It looks like it was just a tear in the wrapping for most of it, and I'm trying to see if it'll come off. It came off a little bit. That's always an issue with these white diecast. It's like they cannot get them clean. It's like dirt just wants to stick to them for whatever reason. Starting off with the nose of this car, though, they got the nose spot on. It's very lined up and nice compared to the Chase Elliott one. If you didn't know what I meant in the Chase Elliott one, the right headlight, or the driver's side headlight actually, for Chase Elliott is way too far to the middle. That one on Bowman's is how it's supposed to be. And you see how the headlight on the 9 on the passenger side goes all the way to the side. It's not supposed to do that. So 48 is spot on. The 9 is not. And they did a good job here. On the hood, we got Ally right there. Bowman there on the front windshield. And then the 48 on the roof. I don't like the white 48. Because I don't like how it overlaps with the white. If it would have been blue and red up top, and maybe the 4 was completely covered, it would work. But I just don't like how it overlaps with the white. It kind of just doesn't pop at all. On to the left side, I love the combination of navy blue and kind of lighter blue like we have here. So I really like the way that works right there. We got the white tire lettering just like the other throwbacks. Got the Throwback NASCAR logo. Got the navy 48 with the red and blue in the back, and then the navy towards the back of the paint scheme. Got Ally Do It Right here on the side. We got Alex Bowman there on the name rail, as well as a race winner sticker. Valvoline, which, again, it makes no sense. Valvoline's even on this car, and they did not sponsor. Maybe Ally had already signed on, I get it, but it's just weird to me. HendrickCars.com there on the quarter panel. On the back, we got Ally Do It Right, as well as the Camaro logo right there. And if it'll ever focus in. There we go. So the taillights and everything look good. ZL1 logo down there looks good. On the deck lid, we got Ally and then Bowman there on the back windshield. On the right side of the car, we have HendrickCars.com, Ally Do It Right again. And everything looks good, pretty much. Aside from the clashing of the sponsor and paint scheme and manufacturer, this car looks nice, in my opinion, and it's a nice, simple throwback to a NASCAR legend, Mark Martin. So now that we've reviewed all 4 paint schemes, let me know which one is your favorite down below. For me personally, the 24 takes the cake here. I think the 9 has the coolest story. But you know, they're all 4 good in and of their own way. And I would definitely recommend picking up this set or picking up the cars individually if you don't want the set to have. So that's going to do it for me in this 4-car review. Make sure to check out the individual reviews of each car if you want to do that. They should be uploaded pretty much at the same exact time. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you all in the next one.